Hi, welcome to another video where today I'm going to talk about the expectation versus reality. So, I haven't been preparing videos in a while, and I thought of preparing this one particularly due to the nature of how a student's life usually turns into after they finish their exams. So, I know that a lot of students are preparing for the October November session, and I know that once so let's talk about when to start planning for your long term. Now, we know that lots of times when I was a kid, I thought that I would be doing my A levels in a particular country, and 6 months later, I end up in a new country with a totally new culture and environment. That could happen to anyone, but we can minimize our, shock or our the kind of sudden change. We could minimize the kind of lack of planning and the problems that it creates by thinking ahead in terms of some general sense. So let's think about school. School is an age where I think you should try everything, and this is an age where you should try different things socially, try different things educationally, try different things when it comes to sports and everything, and try to find out what is yours, what is your niche, what are you good at, and what do you really like. So this is, I mean, a lot of people discourage making mistakes, but I think you should make as many mistakes as possible because you only learn from your mistakes. So at school, if you make a mistake, pat yourself on the back and go make go make another mistake or go make some others. But when it comes to school, towards the end of your exams, you got to start thinking about whether there is some particular field that you are kind of interested. Because once you move into A levels or foundations, you generally have to choose between either science or commerce. A lot of people still do take mixed subjects, and a lot of parents want their kids to study science subjects because they believe that it's easier to transition into the commerce subjects. I mean, business and economics and accounting when it comes to university. I do not think that is, I think that is not right. I mean, technically, it is correct that you can take math and science subjects and maybe get accepted into some universities, but most good universities will not accept you if you come from a pure science background and are applying into, say, something like accounting or accounting and finance, for your graduation. So, a levels, you got to start deciding on what you want to be. Either you want to study in the science field or you want to study in the business field. So, generally speaking, when it comes to your AS and before you start your A2s, your second year of A levels, or towards the end of your foundations, you got to start thinking about your IELTS, your SATs, and your GED, depending on what kind of where you want to go and what the requirements of your universities are. So a lot of people nowadays are looking to move to Australia, Malaysia, or Canada. Like a lot of my students are actually targeting those countries, and some, most like a few of them go to US also. So depending on where you want to go, you got to start thinking about which universities require what, and start taking those exams. Once you're done with your A levels, now this is the main thing. A lot of students end up choosing the wrong course for for their university. I want you to think long and hard before you choose a course, because this is something that you choose for life. And a lot of people midway through university try to change their course, which I strongly discourage because I think that it sends a wrong message to a lot of people when you are indecisive about what you want to do in life. And during your university, you got to start thinking about placement and part time work. This is really important because it adds bulk to your CV. It kind of makes your CV look, fill up the work experience slot, and it makes you more attractive to your potential employers in the future. During your last year of university, or like before you start the last year of university, you got to already start thinking about where you want to work, whether it is back in your home country or whether you want to stay in the place that you're studying and apply for jobs in that particular country. You got to look up visa rules and regulations. You got to maybe contact some immigration consultant and start talking about these things, because if you plan ahead, you can prepare yourself for the future. And I know that a lot of people have a lot of fears when it comes to these situations, and fear mainly comes from fear of unknown. So when you get rid of that, everything else will fall into place. Now, once you've graduated and you're thinking about getting a job, a lot of people try to get a job in the field that they graduated on. So they try to get work related to their graduation. Now, if money is your main priority, then a lot of times there are some certain situations where you could be earning a lot more in a certain job that is not related to your graduation compared to the one that is actually related to your studies. So you got to decide on what's more important for you, because back home in my country, Bangladesh, you have a lot of accounting jobs that do not pay well at all, but you have other jobs when it comes to banking or other sectors like the technology sector that pay really well compared to the accounting sector. So it's all about thinking smart and trying to go for sectors that are actually doing really well, because there are certain sectors that are prepared to pay a lot of money because it's very lucrative and it's very profitable, and they're willing to recruit smart individuals. So when it comes to gathering an income, or when it comes to making money out of your work, it really depends on which field you work for and who you work for, rather than your qualifications. To a certain degree, your qualifications are really important because they help you, but it's not everything. So you could choose to be working in an let me give you an example. So like after graduating from accounting, I could have chosen to go into working for an accounting firm as a trainee, and they pay basically lower than the lowest lows, if I am to be honest. And instead of that, I went and I chose another field. I chose to work in an IT field online, and I actually generate at least, let's say, at least 15 times what I would have been paid if I joined an accounting firm. So yeah, when it comes to that, think ahead and plan wisely, and look at all the different kind of sectors before you finalize or home in on one job. So last but not least, now is the time for me to sell myself. I'd really like for you to go through my other videos, and if you want private tutoring sessions, you could easily join me. I want you to like my Facebook page, which is provided in the description below, as well as it's provided in my profile page. The contact information that I provide is currently for, when I'm staying in Bangladesh. My email is permanent, so if you ever want to, to have any inquiries, or if you want to talk about something, just email me for further information. Please take care of yourself, study hard, and work hard, and stay in touch. Take care of yourself. Bye.